babies!
Hello and welcome to Mind of UPSLynx, the first webcast that covers everything Icrontic and connects you to our community. I'm Lynx, and that's Lynx, not Linux. Lynx. A lot to talk about today. Icrontic went to E3 and all I got was a stinking head cold. Thank you, Prime Suspect. No, really. Just got back. We were there in Los Angeles for a week. Outstanding conference. We learned a lot. We covered a lot of great news, and we're still publishing things. We hope you're keeping up with our posts as we continue to publish. Let's talk about a couple of things we saw there at the conference. Big trends we saw was definitely input technology for the gaming consoles. Nintendo obviously shook things up years ago when they released the Wii with motion technologies. We saw from Microsoft and Sony alike new input developments that use motion technologies. Microsoft, I would suggest, had the most impressive technology with Project Natal. And completely interactive facial recognition, needs nothing more than a camera recognizing the player standing there. Very incredible, very impressive, and hopefully that develops along nicely. Other things, Nintendo, are they still sucking? Last year we had a terrible representation of Nintendo through the E3 conference. I feel like they definitely picked up the slack this year. They announced some new Nintendo IP games, Mario Galaxy 2, new Super Mario Bros. Wii, and the new Metroid Other M, which looks like an exciting new development for the Metroid series. They've also got the Conduit on the horizon, which has been an FPS developed for the system for a long time, and it's looking very impressive, and I'm hoping that one turns out well. I had a chance to play it, and so far so good. Let's talk surprises. I would suggest the thing that surprised me the most was a game called Split Second being developed by Disney Interactive Studios. Let's say that seeing an intense arcade racing game from Disney was the last thing that I expected at a conference. But I was very pleasantly surprised by a game that had a very impressive graphics engine and presented races in a very intense and fast-paced manner, and definitely had a unique feel to it, and we will have a write-up on that soon. Let's talk about Icrontic on the boards, what's being talked about around the community. Recently, Cliff Forrester posted an article about the whole meltdown of Leo Laporte versus Michael Arrington. Very interesting topic, a lot of discussions going on. Was Leo talking out of line when he exploded and melted down and went off the air? Was Michael out of line suggesting the things that he said in the first place? In my opinion, I believe Leo was definitely in the right. Though he may have reacted a bit harshly, he definitely had every right to be angry with Michael Arrington. It's a very touchy subject. A lot of people are on both sides, and there's a great discussion going on. We encourage you to go check it out. The link can be found at the bottom of this webcast. Let's talk about technology, what's going on in my world. Hard drives. If anybody's been talking to me in IRC today, they know that I am definitely out of hard drive space. Two 250 gigabyte hard drives in the box, and then a 250 external sitting on the desk. All completely chock full. Surprisingly, working in animation, video editing, and playing lots of video games fills up your hard drives. Who knew? I kind of approached it as I need a new hard drive, but it became an interesting discussion about how do you manage your space, how many drives do you use, do you partition them, how do you deal with that? And the greater question is, how much more space are we going to need as gamers, as developers? Years ago, I couldn't have imagined having 500 gigabytes hard drive space, let alone filling it. And yet today we have video game installs that are up to 15 gigabytes in size apiece. With games averaging install sizes around 10 gigabytes, things are getting ugly. When will that stop? What's going to be the cap limit for that? Honestly, I think developers are definitely going to have to start working on making their installs a lot more efficient. They need to be working on asset management, sharing assets, and figuring out new ways to compress data onto a disk and keep us from installing a game that's going to take about 3.5 hours to install 15 gigabytes worth of data. If this continues forward, I can't imagine a trend if it continues at this pace. Once we start installing games that are 30 gigabytes, 50, who knows? Before long, terabyte isn't even going to be that big of a deal anymore. That's all for now for Mind of UPSLynx. I hope everybody will check out the links below for related stories. Continue to comment, continue to discuss, and continue living the Icrontic life.